Alright, today there's something that I was going to try to fix. So, here we have my Sakura Miku, and, well, it's kind of hard for you guys to notice this, but let me bring it a little bit closer. So the problem that she's been having recently is her joint doesn't want to stay up. I know it's kind of balled up right there, but put her arm up. Oh, she doesn't want to do it anymore. Oh, you can kind of see it's loose right there, very, very loose. And what I'm pretty sure it is the joint. There's a screw on this joint on the in the ball socket over here. And unlike normal toys that just have a standard little ball and socket, this actually has like a two-part like kind of cup that holds the ball. And when it, like, over time, just moving her arm, oops, if I move her arm back, there you go. You see how her arm goes back and just falls. And so what I'm gonna try to do is tighten that joint, so that way we can have her move the joint how I want her to, and it won't move. As you can see from her other arm, I can put it up and it wants to stay. I could do that same backwards, even though it's not really, but yeah, this one's fine. But yeah, it's no big deal. It's just that joint is just probably just loose, and so that's what I plan on doing right now, is to fix it. Like, see how that one stays. All right, now let me cut to where I have just the body, and we'll go from there. So one of the first steps that you really want to do is you're gonna want to have to take off her head, or whoever's doll's head. And the easiest way to do it is there is a swivel ball joint and then a little post that goes to her head right here. So it starts from right here, and instead of going straight up, it curves. So it like goes up and it curves into her body. You'll see it right here. So what you're gonna have to do is grab the base of the ball joint, which would be right here in the neck. So you're gonna feel the silicone body, and you're gonna just grab it, and then I like to just wiggle gently the head back and forth, and it should come undone. It might be a little bit harder towards the end because it does have a bigger part that pokes out a bit, and so that's how you take off the head. And let me put the head away over here real quick. I have a little spot for it. So as you can see, there's that ball that I was talking about. So when you're pinching it, you're going to be grabbing that ball. See? If you didn't grab it and you start to wiggle it, you would just start to move this like crazy. Oh, so it's a ball, and I believe there's another hinge right here too. It's actually a pretty cool frame. So yeah, all right, now let's go on to the next part. I'll probably have the clothes off of it by then. All right, so now the next step that we're gonna be going to is to take off her arms. I know I still got the bodysuit on it, but I'm just gonna pop it off the back and then pull it down because I don't want to take off her boots and all of her clothes. So what you're supposed to do is you're gonna want to grab the body, kind of give it a little bit of a press, the chest and the parts over here silicone. So what you're gonna want to do is make sure you grab your arm, make sure it's straight, where the shoulder, like a real shoulder, would meet the meeting the joint. So what you want to do is make sure it's at a 90-degree angle. Once you have a 90-degree angle, then you're gonna want to pull out. And the reason why you do that is because these joints, they're not a perfect round. They actually have a little bit of a shape to them, kind of like a cylinder shape. If it'll focus, please. Have a cylinder shape to it, and so the ball has that same cylinder shape on the inside as well. We'll be seeing that part next. So let me just take off the next arm to the side. She might look a little funnier right now. Let me get it to focus. There we go. So again, 90-degree angle. Once you have a 90-degree angle, then you're just gonna pull it right out of the socket, and this same thing. All right, toss it to the side. Let me unbutton her from the back real quick. And oh yeah, just as a side note, this is for the F3 model. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, I know. But with the F3 model, that's the newest model. There are a couple of older models as well, but this is the F3. So now we're here at the body. So now with the body, what we're gonna want to do is you pretty much gonna want to have to grab the bottom half of her torso, and you just simply just wiggle it up and out. It's pretty simple. Now we're gonna get to pretty much the guts of this whole thing. You might want to stick to a few items, but give it a little wiggle, and there we go. We are now free the top and the bottom half. So yeah, here's the bottom half, can smell like silicone now. So here's the part where we're at. So as you can see that it's a brown part, and there's a hole over here for the bolt, and here's that ball I was talking about. Standard, like typical, like, you know, dolls and action figures and whatnot, they'll have like a ball and joint similar, but this will be attached to the arm. And so once this thing wears out, it's pretty much like loose forever. So you can see just on my finger how easy that is to, trying to get you able to see it, but you can see how easy it is to move it. But it has that little hinge, like I said, and we can tighten it and adjust it, and that's the really nice thing about this. So here's the other one. This one's it's a lot stiffer. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know if you guys can see, I know my thumb might be in the way, but it is a lot stiffer of a joint. Okay, here's the back side of the bolt. Yeah, it's a Phillips head. So let me grab the screwdriver real quick, and then we'll get to it. All right, you can see them right there. So there's the joints, and let me see how tight. Oh, it's pretty loose. Like, there's no denying that was a pretty loose joint. So let me just put an arm in it. And this is what one of the hard parts would be, is if you had the doll with all of its body on and everything. You see that? Yeah, it's super loose. So if you had the doll with all of its body and clothing and all other stuff on it, and you didn't put the arms at 90 degrees, this would be a pretty difficult spot, because you'd have to kind of guess where that spot was at. But now we see nice. I can move it fairly easily. It doesn't take that much. It's going to be a little bit stiffer over here, of course, because of leverage. But over here, that feels like a nice, solid, smooth joint. Let me just give it a hair more of tightness. But that means this is actually a pretty good bolt. So whatever bolt and hardware they're using feels pretty good. Let me check out the other arm. See how tight that is. Oh, it was starting to get loose. So let me take this off real quick. Change arms. There we go. I know this is the wrong arm, but this is just for testing it out. That's pretty good. So I like that. I'm pretty happy with how that joint is. So I'm gonna keep it that way. And so pretty much after that, you know, just put the torso back on. This might give you a little bit of problem because of that bend in the neck. But I don't know how to explain it, but I'm pretty impressed on how they built the frame of this, because I mean, it's the frame, and then you got the, you know, then all the body parts to it, and then once you put it all together, it's the whole thing. And so by having these joints, you know, you pretty much have your way on how tight you want it to be, how well you want it to be posable, or if you just want it to be able to stand in a stagnant pose. That, I think that's really cool. And the fact that, you know, you can just buy like a replacement joint or replacement part, you know, instead of buying, you know, one frame. If this was just one frame, you could probably just buy, like, you know, like the little ball or something, or I don't know. I'm not sure what's everything they offer. I haven't really dug through the store that much, but I mean, I think that's a pretty cool and impressive thing. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys out, and you know, don't freak out too much if your arm feels a little bit loose than what it is. And you know, I've only used this and moved her and took pictures with her a couple times, and just, you know, for some reason this arm was loose, this arm was fine. I'd have a little bit of problem with the legs, but I think it might have been because I put it a little bit too far and one of the pegs got loose. But overall, I mean, it's pretty solid, and I like how smooth the joints are and how posable the figure is. It's a very good figure, but I mean, I would hope so with the amount that I'm paying. And unfortunately, I did have to buy it secondhand, so I mean, it is what it is, but I enjoy it, and hope you guys have fun.